To the Hank's Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. All right, boom! We are live. Let's do the jazz hands. There you go, jazz hands going. Jazz hands with guns. I'm guessing you've got a Glock to show off tonight.
Oh yeah.
I think this is my Gen 1, right?
Yeah,
I think
is that
so.
the real Gen 1?
I think so.
I'm very jealous. I do want one.
There's not a G1 on it, but I guess there wouldn't be, right? I don't know.
You remember where you got that?
Some store. It was. I think in Ocala. I think my friend Bubba Roadkill.
Yeah. Okay.
The store that he goes to.
I'm looking for one. No, I got.
Yeah. Yes, you've got something to show off. So we are live. This is episode 1061 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. He's got a holster and everything to go with that. DeSantis holster? I don't know.
No, even better. Let's see.
What is it? What does it say? Sullivan's? It says custom made at Sullivan's, Tampa, Florida. It's not an Andrews. It's not
for Tampa Police Department.
Oh, there you go. Okay, it's not an Andrews custom leather. So, what can I say?
This company now defunct. This was back in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Any police officer with his worth his weight in what's the phrase? Not gold, but worth his salt. Had a Sullivan's. This is what this guy made all the gun holsters for all the TPD.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay.
And he's now defunct.
Interesting trivia right there.
Somebody gave that to me years ago, so now I get to put something in it.
Oh, that didn't come with that. Okay, all right.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get all into this. Like I said, episode 1061 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm joined by Babyface P, of course, of Chrome Vandium Arms. He's here joining me. Walter he's on his way back from Louisiana. I believe that the new Pope is Creole, so Walter went to Louisiana to pay homage, kiss the ring, bow down, wash the feet, etc. of the new Pope. That's what I hear. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think he's not going to make it for this show. Hopefully he's listening. Did you hear about that the new Pope is Creole and all kinds of stuff?
I saw your text today, but I thought he was from Chicago.
Yeah, I think he's from Chicago, but he has dual citizenship. So he's an American citizen and what is it, Ecuador or something like that, or Peruvian citizen? One of those, I think.
Ooh, really?
So yeah, and he's got whatever. I don't know if it matters, but you know, he's like the Obama of popes. You know what I'm saying? So he's supposed to be culturally diverse, or that's at least how they're trying to spin it. So Walter's out there, like I said, washing the feet of the Pope. I didn't see any beignet. I didn't even realize Walter was in Louisiana.
I didn't either. I thought that picture he sent from his Sunday Mother's Day was in good old Safety Harbor. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see pictures of beignets getting thrown up in our communications. So usually that's what's going on. But anyway, the title of the show is Half of Nothing is Still Nothing. What do you think that's about?
NFA.
NFA, yeah. Suppressors coming off the NFA. We'll talk about that a little bit. Well, probably a lot of bit here. Let's see how excited and hot-headed. It's just me and Patrick. So
I mean, if we can get John Crump to come on for a little bit.
Yeah, we could reach out to Crump. Let me see if I could. Lola, see if Crump is available.
Talk NFA.
Yeah, see if he's available to come in live. Send him the link. I don't know if he's available or not. Because when he did his live, he did it for like 2 minutes, which is rare. I don't know if he was off to do something with the kids or not. I was gonna call this "We Don't Need No Stinking Jets." Do you know what I was going to call it? You don't know what's going on with that?
No,
the
that
Jets?
doesn't make any sense to me.
With the jet situation? Okay,
Oh,
I'll
is that
bring
the
you
one
up to
where
speed.
Trump's getting a free jet and everybody's up in arms about it?
Yeah, but I don't think we need it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not a fan of that. So, not a fan of that whatsoever.
What about a free jet? You're not a fan of a free jet?
No. So we'll talk about all that. Shout out to everyone who's out there. Let me see if there's any shout outs that need to go out. We already have like 19, 20 people in the chat. You guys can help us out by smashing those thumbs ups. They do help. You know, even though we're here on Rumble, we're doing this live on Rumble because they don't let us hold gun. YouTube doesn't let us hold guns and touch it like that and show you guys guns. So that's why we're on Rumble, and that'll help us out here. So smash those thumbs up. So we appreciate it. Let me see. It looks like we got Shooting Gallery. NE is out there. C Bolus, Night Train, Original, Kurt 24. Anyone has any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? We'll get into whatever you're excited about. You want to know about whatever happened over the weekend. We will get into it. How was your weekend, Babyface?
Good. We didn't do. Don't think we did anything on Saturday, and then Sunday we made ribs. Mom and Dad came up. We went to PDQ first, which PDQ always does some sort of Father's Day of Parent Day thing. So they always do a Father's Day and a Mother's Day. So like yesterday was BOGO at PDQ, so we went to lunch at PDQ, and then I smoked some ribs, and we had a nice dinner, and it was good. It was overall a good day.
Okay, good Mother's Day. Yeah,
it was nice and quiet. Yeah. That's all you can ask for.
Yes, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers and the mothers out there. You know, I spoiled Lola this Mother's Day.
Good.
I washed her car for her, and
she deserves it.
Yeah, I gave her suggestions on what to make me for breakfast.
Bet that went over real well.
It was actually pretty good. It was like a breakfast casserole. That was my idea. I was gonna do it, but then I got busy working on stuff.
You don't get busy working on Mother's Day.
I was working. Off. I work every day. No days off around here. No days off.
I took the entire day off, and I didn't work at all. Yeah,
by the way, this is what we got from Walter. Crawdads, which are basically like cockroach of the ocean or the seas, or whatever wherever the hell they come from. I guess so is a lobster, and I like lobster, but I don't know about that. Do you eat these things?
You would like them if you got them. You'd like them. If you like seafood, if you like lobster, do you like crabs?
I'm okay with crabs. I'm not a big crab guy either. I like lobster and fish and stuff like that, but
yeah, you should try them once. They're not bad. Get them when somebody else has ordered them. Don't order them yourself, just in case.
I've tried all that stuff. Like my mom, my mom had a policy: whatever she cooks, you eat or you die.
It's what we do at home here. It's not they're not bad, but they're not really my cup of tea. I don't mind eating the tails mostly. But I am not into sucking the juice out of the heads. That is not that ain't my thing. I still
it doesn't even sound right, but I get it.
It's not my cup, but they insist on it.
I don't know if you know this, but I famously, maybe no one probably talked about it, but I went to this thing that was like put on by Brownells, and there was a bunch of big gun guys out there, and myself, and they did this same kind of, what is this called, like a crawfish broil, and they boil or whatever. Okay, it's a boil or a broil.
You're boiling.
It's a boil.
You're not broiling them.
Okay, it's a boil. Okay, so that just doesn't sound right. But anyway,
boil them. It's seafood boil.
Yeah, so they did this thing.
People like that stuff. Have you never seen the black people that take seafood boils on airplanes? They love that stuff, man.
Doing it on an airplane? I don't know.
Exactly.
No, I don't know about that. Flogged. I mean, I'm from the Caribbean and all that, so I get it. And people from the Caribbean will eat a bunch of crap that, like I said, when I was a kid, maybe I was forced to eat, but I don't do it. So anyway, we went out to this thing. I told them I don't eat that stuff, and they did it anyway, which was fine by me. But so then they sent someone to get me a burger, but we were like out in the boonies. And everyone was like, well, screw Hank Strange, I'm going to eat, which I was totally fine with. Yeah. And then Eric of IV88, he refused to eat until my food came in, which it came like 2 hours later, and I felt bad. I kept telling him, I was like, dude, you need to eat.
You got way better friends than me because I eat.
Yeah, that's just one of, I don't know. That's just one of those things. Chad was like, "Screw Hank Strange, I'm eating food."
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So there you go. Yeah, I don't expect that. I would have, at the end of the day, I would have just eaten the corn. There is other stuff in there that's okay, but
corn and potatoes are the best part. Well, yeah, I'm sure they're not the best part, but I love corn and potatoes in it.
Yeah, I don't think everyone will agree with you. That's the best part. By the way, check out, this is our logo today. This is just me and you. We might get. Well, what do you think about that? Look at that. Anthropomorphic dog.
No suppressors, though. You need to have some suppressors.
Yeah. You know what? It's not easy to get in there.
That.
Yeah.
I know.
This scruffy dog looks badass right here, man. He's got an eye patch.
He's a little mean looking.
The tongue is hanging out, like ready for action. I don't think you could get your tongue out like that.
No, I can't.
Can Buckshot? I don't know if I even ever see Buckshot doing that. Oh, he can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen that. Of course, you got the skull. There's a AK in there. And there's a Boeing. A 747-8 Boeing. Like I said, originally I thought we were going to talk about not needing any stinking... why did I turn you on there? Let's see. Yeah, originally I was going to talk about not needing any jets, so we could probably cover that real quick. Did you see this in the news?
Something, but not. I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah, there's okay.
I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, so here I'll pull up something here that we could share with the people. So, Trump administration in talks to accept new Air Force One as gift from Qatar.
Oh, it's coming from Qatar? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, who do you think was giving it to us? The King of England?
No, I thought it was Boeing or one of them doing it, and I thought that was a little bad. No, I didn't realize Qatar was doing it. No, I am totally against that.
Yeah, Boeing should totally give up a free... So they were supposed to have made this from the first administration. He ordered an Air Force One, and they haven't delivered it. So that's fact.
I thought Boeing was saying, hey, thank you for helping with something. We're going to give you a free jet. Which I was like, okay, that doesn't bother me as much. But Qatar? No, I didn't know it was Qatar.
Yeah, if it was Boeing, I would not be bothered. Boeing should buy that. They should. They get enough money from us that they should just go, you know what? Here's a jet.
That's what I thought, Hank. That's what I thought. It was like Boeing's like, oh, man, we've made a lot of profits this year. Let's give the president a new jet. Yeah. Which I legitimately thought was like, okay, I can see why people are complaining because you might be getting some nepotism. You might, Boeing might be looking for a favor or a handout.
No, they get a lot of contracts. They already get that.
They don't care.
They get that already. Yeah.
But no, I didn't know it was Qatar.
No, that's Qatar, bro.
Qatar is not. Oh my God, no! That's
terrible. President Trump's administration is in talks with the Qatari government about accepting a luxury Qatari plane for his use as president and potentially beyond, according to people familiar with the matter. Under the potential agreement, which is raising legal and ethical concerns, the plane owned by the Qatari royal family would be used as Air Force One while Trump is in office after being retrofitted by a U.S. defense contractor. Blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it goes on. Good. But, yeah. And Trump is talking about it.
Somebody on Twitter was like, oh, yeah, you're going to be wanting to check for bugs. And I was like,
yeah.
Why would Delta be bugging that plane? Or why would Lockheed
Boeing?
Yeah. Now it makes sense.
There's no way in hell you accept... First of all, it's a white elephant. Let's start right there. It's a white elephant.
Explain that one to me. I don't understand.
So yeah, I had to explain it to Lola. I'm gonna pull it up while I talk about it. So white elephant is like royal, wealthy people, powerful people back in the day. They would give each other what's called a white elephant you would give that to someone who you don't like. What? You give them a white elephant because it's a big ass elephant that needs
take care of it.
Handlers. It needs to be fed. Okay. Plus, it's white on top of that, so it gets dirty. You got to clean it.
I've heard that before.
So it's a way to give something to a friend, but
that isn't
punish
good.
That you really don't like. But yeah, you want to punish them.
Okay.
At the same time, yeah. Lola asked me that same question. So here's the definition: a white elephant is a metaphor for something expensive to maintain, but of little or no practical use, or something that is difficult to dispose of. It's often used to describe an unwanted gift or possession that takes up space and costs money to keep.
Because it's rude to get rid of it,
Yeah.
so you have to accept it, but it's a shitty gift.
Yes, and the phrase
That's what
originates from a legend about the king of Siam who would give albino elephants as punishment to those who displeased him. Oh, Walter's joining.
And I think I actually have heard this. And it was a big deal because if you killed that elephant, then you were like, they would kill you. Like you
you made you violated. Oh, look, Walter's. Oh, he's decided to go live to tour. Why did I send him the link? I was gonna not send Walter the link.
Just to show off.
You bastard! Oh, that's so delicious. Oh my lord. Okay, so obviously some people are still in Louisiana. They're still over there apparently. I don't think their signal's going to come in too good. We might have even lost them right there. So
yeah, those I've never had. Well, I've had beignets here from a little beignet place, but I've never had good ones, and I'm very jealous. Those look good.
Yeah, that was awesome. Now I'm hungry. You know, I had some chicken wings right before we did this, but
waiting on dinner. Marley is making dinner tonight.
Jeez, Walt. Yeah. Oh, here we go. He's coming in again. Hold on. Let's see if he can get a better. So he's obviously Walter. You're still in Louisiana.
Jesus Christ,
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We leave at 7, 9.
You leave at 9. Okay. So beignets will spoil if you bring them on the plane.
You ain't getting none.
Well, thanks. It's good to see you. How was the Pope? Did you go visit with the Pope?
I figured you would enjoy that.
Yeah. Yes. I was just telling Patrick I didn't know what happened to the usual pictures of beignets and videos that we always get when you're in Louisiana.
Well, I figured since I was going to be here and you were on live, I figured I'd
Yeah.
just
show off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
we didn't have it. This is the first time we've been here since we got here, and we're leaving tonight. So.
Oh, okay. So, what is the state of mind? Is everyone in Louisiana happy or something because they can somehow claim ownership over the Pope?
Okay. My mother-in-law goes to church religiously, and the subject has not come up.
I don't think anybody knows that he has some
probably.
connection. I don't think anybody knows that.
They're trying
I
to
think
push
you're the
that.
only one that knows.
Yeah.
Oh, he had some connection in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know, but it's.
Yeah.
I don't know him, so I couldn't tell you.
Someone in his, I think his father or mother or something like that was supposed to have been like Haitian or something, believe it or not.
White Haitian?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was at a gathering yesterday, and nobody mentioned it. Yeah. Nobody mentioned the Pope to me yesterday at the Crawfish Boil, so.
Yeah, no one's worried about it.
Anybody gives to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's worried about it.
Not when there's crawfish on the table.
Yeah, exactly. What are you in Louisiana for good things or bad things? Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's fine. The weather's fantastic. All that rain.
No deaths in the family, because it seems like every time you go, there's a death in the family.
Every time what? I'm sorry?
No death.
Every time you've gone recently, there's been a death in the family.
No.
There's no deaths or anything.
The last time was a funeral thing, yes.
Yes.
This time, no.
Celebration.
Okay.
It's good.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll probably be back next month for Peggy's mom's birthday. So.
Oh, okay. Say happy birthday to Peggy's mom. Patrick is showing off Glocks right now. He's showing off his Gen 1.
Yeah, I see that.
Gen 2, I think.
And his Tupperware thing, yes.
Yeah.
All right,
well, enjoy your beignets. Yeah, good to see you guys. Get home safe. All right. Bye.
Yeah, I got to eat my stuff's getting cold.
Yes, I know. Sorry.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, that was nice. Yeah, so we were talking about the white elephant thing there.
And that was, I remember hearing this, because if the Sultan gave you white elephant, you had to keep it alive and healthy and pay for all of it.
Yeah, you would die probably.
If you ended up starving it or killing it, the Sultan would kill you. So
it was definitely an insult. Yeah,
it was a chore that you had to keep that son of a bitch alive.
Yeah, it was a way to punish. I just realized I didn't wear my hair hair watch.
I got nothing.
Oh, you too. Look at that. That's so shameful.
I had hands. I was hands deep in a tank of cleaning.
In an elephant.
Ugh, no, thank you.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds. I was gonna say something which I probably shouldn't if we only have yeah. So for that reason, I think it's just an expensive ass thing to maintain. That's just one to me, that it's a white elephant. If you guys hang out with us until the next segment, which is coming up here in a few seconds, we'll go into the other things. We'll talk about the suppressors, NFA, etc. coming up right after this. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. Okay. I was gonna see if there's one I could just make up a watch here. Okay, so listen, yeah, so it's a white elephant in my opinion, right? Because it's something you have to maintain. All of that kind of stuff costs money. I know Trump has money.
We don't get to keep it, right? It sounded like it was still theirs.
No, they're giving it to Trump. They're giving it to Trump.
The way you said it, it sounded like they're giving it to him to use.
So the plan was, this is how Trump is trying to spin it, and I don't know if it's I personally don't think it's a good idea, but they were going to give it to him to use until the end of his presidency, and then it would switch over to the Trump library. He said in a press conference he would decommission it because it's fuck all expensive, so then it's just an empty shell that's going to be sitting in the library, which I don't know if he needs all that, or people need it.
This seems weird to me.
Yeah, and Ronald Reagan, I think, already had something similar to that. Like, whatever plane was Air Force One at the time, when it got decommissioned, I guess they donated it to Ronald Reagan, and it's in the Ronald Reagan library. I don't know if Trump needs all that, but there's other stuff with this. There's the security thing. You know, there's security measures and precautions, like anti-aircraft stuff that needs to go on there. There's spying things, anti-spy. Yeah. So why would we get this thing from Qatar when Boeing just needs to make Air Force One and stop messing around?
Okay, so it would be to me it would be a little bit different if Qatar says, "Hey, you know what? You deserve a nice new plane. We're going to pay for it." And they call up Boeing and say, "Hey, make the president a new plane. Put it on our black card."
I don't know if I said, yeah.
But that still seems too quid pro quo-y. As if Qatar is looking for something, or they're looking for somebody. Yeah. Well, we want you to be favorable. Like we don't.
Yeah,
we're Americans.
And even Laura, have you ever heard of Laura Loomer? I only know that she's
abso-fucking-lutely nuts.
Yeah. So even Laura, let me see. I don't know how you spell it.
Laura Loomer.
Yeah, Laura Loomer. Even she is against it.
She's back. She's cellophane pants crazy, dude.
Yeah,
she,
but even she is against it. Even she is saying that it shouldn't be done.
About everything, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, she's pro-Trump about everything, but she says
this is a bad idea.
Yeah, she says it's a bad. Oh, this is what she looks like.
She's disgustingly ugly.
Oh, why is Laura?
That's not a good picture of her. Go look up. Just Google Laura Loomer. She has had so much plastic surgery done that she looks like a creature in the worst way.
And why is she like? Why is Laura? Because I heard that he actually he listens to her or something like that. Right?
He shouldn't, because she literally had an order of protection. She got Baker acted and can't own firearms. Like she's crazy. She's straight. She's straight cellophane pants crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Jesus. She looks like a monster.
But even she says it's wrong. So.
She's nuts. Yes.
How did she become a deal? How did this chick become any kind of
no idea? She's a Trump sycophant in the truest way possible. Where anything Trump does, she's like kissing his feet. So if she's saying it's wrong, then that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's a big. I don't think we should take it. I'm not saying like if they want to do something, I think there's other things they could do. But I don't even know if a plane would still help, right? Because we got to maintain this plane. Just
I don't know why he needs a new one. What's
it gonna do for people, Qatar? What's it gonna do?
there's something more. Nothing is free. Nothing in this world is ever free. There's something else there. God, I thought it was. Again. This goes back to I thought it was Boeing was going to do it.
No.
And
no.
even then,
and then Trump is like, "Who says no to a free jet?" Sometimes you got to say no to free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff isn't free. Nothing is free in this world.
And also, like as 50 Cent is famous for talking about this. Don't let no dudes take you shopping. Don't let dudes take you shopping.
Because that's a Diddy reference.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's not man shit. Yeah. Every time Diddy wants to take a dude shopping, he's trying to
say no, thank you.
Yeah, he's trying to diddle that dude.
Good. Yep.
Yeah, so stay away from it. I think I would stay away from this. There's if they want to do stuff to help out America, okay, cool. But I don't think this is not necessary, and they can wait until Trump is out of office and give him whatever the hell they want to. You know, it's only like 3 years or so.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
But then there's no, you're not getting anything out of them. You know.
Yeah.
This almost sounds Biden-esque, where what's his name was running a thing out of Ukraine. Like, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea.
I don't think it's a good. I don't know, but they are saying it's all legal and they're trying to go ahead with it. But I don't agree with it.
It's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea Qatar was doing it.
Yeah. If you should look into that. Hot Dog 990 is out there. He says hello chat. Shout out to Hot Dog 990. Night Train says Boeing has been going through a wildly turbulent time these days. Yeah, Boeing's kind of messed up. And Trump actually ordered an Air Force One back in his first term. And then when he left office, Biden administration took over. This is according to Trump. And he says they put a lot of crap on the list, the want list for that. For the Air Force One, which I don't think it needs to have a whole bunch of shit in there. It just needs to be safe and secure and anti-spying, etc. Be able to protect the president and the cabinet close to him who might be traveling at that time on the plane. And that's it. That doesn't need to be, they don't need a lot of bells and whistles on that, in my opinion.
No, you need whatever is necessary to keep him from getting blown out of the sky if he flies wherever. Mm-hmm. But it's just a means of travel for the president. I'm with you. This is crazy.
Yeah. Night Train also... Okay, here we go. Let's see. Lola Strange says Creole, question mark. I thought he was from Chicago.
That's what I thought, too.
And that's in regards to the Pope. If you guys need proof, I'll look into it. But if you just Google the Pope or look at his Wikipedia, it's all up in there. Do you want to do that, or you want to talk about the NFA?
NFA. I don't talk about the Pope. I don't trust the Pope.
There you go.
The Pope hasn't been the Pope since like 1940 or
19. Here's all you need to know. He's claiming Chicago.
Yeah.
So he's super liberal. There you go. That's all you need to know. Let's see. Okay, so Cibola says he's asking questions. So suppressors are actually coming off the NFA, but SBRs are not.
Nope, not happening. None of it's happening. There's a chance. There's a small chance that they're going to change the price of a tax stamp. Mm-hmm. And that's only a chance at this moment. That's not even a guarantee.
So I think that we owe the folks and people who, if you're obviously the people who watch us, the Second Amendment folks, and you guys are probably tracking what's going on, and there's definitely the big dudes out there talking about it. I know Collier Noir said something, which I didn't really see whatever he said, but I think he was a little misinformed on what was going on, but probably in the right ballpark. And there's been some other people. I know VSO, for example, has been putting stuff up about this. Of course, our friend John Crump has been posting about this. But do you want to just go back and explain to people what's happening? Because it's not really super big news. If you try to pull it up, you won't see a lot about it.
The Hearing Protection Act and one other act have been floating around Congress for a decade now. And they're just never brought up, because nobody has the balls or the votes to get it passed. Well, we finally own everything. We even have the votes, we thought, in the Ways and Means Committee, where the Hearing Protection Act is currently sitting. And then, so we thought that there was hope that the Ways and Means Committee would push through the Hearing Protection Act, get the votes that were needed. Then it would get stuck into reconciliation, where it got the votes it needed. Then it would go to the president and get signed, and suppressors and maybe SBRs and SBSs would come off the NFA, where there's no longer any tax stamp. There's nothing. They're Title 1, or Title. They're like a normal gun. You go to a gun store, you get the serial number, you do a 4473, and you take it home, which is also unconstitutional, but we'll do that later. Well, today, come to find out, the Ways and Means Committee is possibly gutting the Hearing
language.
Protection Act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gutting the language of the Hearing Protection Act, and instead are bringing it down to Form 4 suppressors only. Form 4 suppressors. So suppressor transfer, that's normally $200 tax stamp, will be a $0 tax stamp.
Yeah.
And part of that is a win. I don't want to come off as being wholly obtuse, because that is still progress forward. The problem is that we could have gone all the way. We could have gone all the way to the end zone, and it sounds like 2 votes kept that from happening, and those 2 votes may have had some corruption behind them in that they are industry related, or money changed hands, or I'll help back your play if you need some money, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think that's
what we're hearing.
Yeah, I think that's a good description of what's going on. There's not a lot out on this because a lot of this is playing itself out in the background. And
actively. There are still talks being held actively.
Yes. So this is why people can still put pressure, I feel, on Congress and the members of Congress. Which, like, this is on the Ways and Means Committee, right? I think we could probably find the Ways and Means Committee.
And you can still call the Ways and Means Committee, and I would suggest you do. And you can do that right now. If you're listening to this, and I'm going to talk directly to y'all, which I don't ever do. If you are listening to this right now, feel free. I will get the number for you. Ways and Means Committee phone number.
Yeah. And while Patrick is doing that, I'm just going to throw some stuff up here that's already out. Because this is happening in the background, there's folks out there saying, hey, we should be careful about what we say, putting things out there, spoiling things, letting the cat out of the bag, or, and then really what we need to do is keep the pressure on the politicians, which I agree with. If we genuinely want to, make something happen, but this is all complicated. This pressure is important, but this is complicated.
For anybody that's watching this, and not a week from now, because it won't matter. It's for anybody that's live. Mm-hmm. You can Google this. But so if it's a week from now and you still need to do something, you can Google. 202-225-3625. That is the phone number for the Ways and Means Committee. Yes, they will not be sitting at their desks. Nobody will answer the phone right now. It's 7:30 at night. Mm-hmm. You can leave a voice message. All 40 of you that are secretly watching this, call right now. Just ignore us for the next 5 minutes. Call and tell them we want you to pass an unmitigated, no changes Hearing Protection Act. Stop playing around and pass the Hearing Protection Act. Because they are currently 2 votes shy, and they're holding it up, and it seems that it's not going to get passed. So this is the legislation right here that is getting put in place. AOWs are still going to be $5. SBRs, SBSs, machine guns are still going to be $200. Suppressors will be $0. That is a win. That's a win, and I don't want to understate that. It is a win. But with those 2 votes, we could go all the way and get suppressors off the NFA permanently.
Yeah, I'm just going through and showing, it's easy to find out who's on the Ways and Means, who are the, obviously the Democrats on there aren't going for this, but it's easy enough for you to see the
Democrats on there are outvoted. We do not care what their opinion is. We have the votes. If whoever the 2 people are would get off their bums and do something.
I think this dude, David, what's his name? David,
dude looks like a crazy man, by
David Kustoff. Yeah, they want me to subscribe or something here, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, so there's, that, I think that guy's connected. I'm trying to remember who's the other guy that's connected to this.
So the other, if you watch Curtis's video today, VSO Gun Channel, he was making it seem that Chris Cox, the old NRA ILA guy, also has something here. But I don't know the ins and outs. I've tried asking and nobody will tell me yet because I have a big mouth and I like to run it. So nobody will tell me. But there are supposedly who are holding this whole thing up when we technically have the votes and we could get this over the finish line.
So let me see. First of all, let me see if there's any questions that have come in about this. Night Train was saying, take the suppressors off the NFA over SBRs if I had a choice, since the workaround is pistol braces. That's
suppressors are the right move first. But none of it should be on the NFA. It's all unconstitutional. The NFA should be gone, and the Hughes Amendment should be gotten rid of as well. That's big steps. We're not ready to take big steps because they're all too much pussies to take big steps like that.
Right. He also said that he called the Ways and Means Committee today and left a message. So, if we go back...
That's all we can do. But the more they hear from us, the more they go, oh shit, people are actually paying attention to what I'm doing. I might want to change this.
So, this is from my point of view, like the history of this, which most of you guys know, but just to recap a little bit. This is not the first time we've tried to do this. The Hearing Protection Act has come and gone multiple times here, right? We've had Republican supermajorities before, and this kind of stuff still didn't happen. This is in the nature of the Republicans we have out there, right? A lot of times this stuff gets kicked down the road. They knock this around for a while and tease you.
Bullshit over and over again of, it's just not the right time. Oh, it's just wait for the midterms. Oh, just wait another year. Oh, just wait. Bullshit. It's the right time.
Yeah.
It's the right time.
There is no greater time than right now with Donald Trump in the White House. Republicans have a supermajority. Americans are sick and tired of the bullshit that's going on. I think that the Hearing Protection Act has merit. What am I talking about? When we're talking about suppressors, are suppressors available to the people of America? Yes, in most places. One, not everywhere. Two, there's hoops that you have to jump through in order to do this. Part of, I would say like half of that hoop is you got to pay a tax stamp. The other half of that is you need to go and fill out paperwork and get the approval of the government in order to do it. That's where it becomes, both of those things are unconstitutional, right? So this has gone on. This is why I say like half of nothing is still nothing in my opinion. Is it a good direction? Okay.
I don't want to be as negative as you because I do think that this is still a positive in certain ways. It's just we're all of us extremists out there are upset because you're so close to just doing something good for the American people for the first time in your entire career. You have the votes. We could get this done. Go get it done. Do something. Stop sitting on your ass and doing nothing.
Yeah, listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. First of all, so this is just the news right now as it's coming out, and people are a little bit upset about it because everyone was holding their breath, hoping that we can actually get this thing through. This doesn't mean this is going through and this is going to wind up on the president's desk. So we could go, oh, this is real. This is cool. I'll take it. I'll take the $200 off the tax stamp. We don't know that it'll ever get to his desk. Yeah, but we don't know if it's ever going to get to his desk. The other part of it, I want to say, you're not wrong in what you're saying, but here's my opinion on it. Okay, so you take the $200 away. Now you will have, just like when we were talking about this with the braces, right? When the ATF was waiving the fee for the braces, and there were folks who were rushing out there, ooh, I'm going to get a free SBR now. That's just going to pile into the system. So you take away the $200 fee, which is I don't know if that's even considered a tax stamp anymore if you didn't pay the taxes on it. But you take that away, more people pile into the system, the whole system slows down. No matter what, you still have to go through the system, which discourages a lot of people. So these suppressors don't wind up easily on people's guns, right? So are we really doing anything like vis-a-vis hearing protection? And what I mean by that, the easiest way to explain it is, a few years ago, What do you have? A salad?
It's a bowl. It's a rice bowl with chicken.
Oh, rice bowl.
And all sorts of avocado and beans.
Yeah. So a few years ago, we got a minute, but we'll take this over into the next thing. A few years ago, if you're a gun guy, you've been to shoots out there, right? You've been to like IV-88 shoots, or what's the one that was in Kentucky? You've been to all these different shoots. Have you ever been to a shoot where all the guns have cans on them? Because it's beautiful.
It's wonderful. I have become jaded to having cans because I'm so used to shooting around them that when I go to a range and there are people with 308s and short-barreled 5.56s without cans, I'm like, I don't want to shoot next to you.
Yeah. So in essence, this is the heart of the Hearing Protection Act. It's definitely a little bit more than that, but that's the beautiful thing that we're trying to make happen here. To me, this still gets in the way. We've got like a couple of seconds here. I'm going to let this break happen, and then we're going to come back and keep talking about this. We'll be right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. All right, so we're back here.
I mixed it up. I'll show it off again because Marley did. So it's like rice, chicken, edamame, avocado, and then some like.
I like how Marley always uses. Is this your bowl? This is your bowl.
No, we have. These are our bowls.
Yeah, I'm saying, this is your bowl. You always get your food in. Lola does the same thing to me.
We have 8. Yeah. We have 8 of these white bowls. These are our soup and breakfast bowls. This is all the bowls.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking it. It's cool.
It's not my bowl. Like my name's. It's not my.
Yeah, you should put BFP. BFP needs to be emblazoned.
We have a full table setting of these bowls, and these are our bowls. Yes.
Yeah, it needs to be emblazoned. That's how you get your food.
And don't get me started. Don't get me started on bowls because I am a man that believes a bowl should be bowl shaped. I hate those bowls that are just kind of like,
kind of flat, like kind of. They don't know if it's a bowl or a plate.
Yes, if they're confused, then I don't want it. It's either a bowl or a plate. Anyway, sorry.
No, Lola gives me my food in a bowl too.
I like bowls.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it. Night Train says there is no tomorrow. Apollo Creed. That's Apollo Creed quote. And C Bullet says I've never been to one of those shoots. It's awesome. And this is the thing I'm saying. Like it really would help. For, especially when you're shooting repetitively and all that, if you go to these shows where obviously I'm sure people have been out there shooting and there's not suppressors on the guns, it's like a blessing. I've done it, I think maybe twice or something like that, and I wish that everything was like that. And the only way to get it there is to take this off the NFA. You don't have to do a tax stamp. You don't have to go through the paperwork. The two go hand in hand.
You fill out 4473 and you take it home.
Yeah, taking away the money part, sure, it's not, I can't call it a bad thing, but taking away the money part and not taking away the government part where you have to get their approval, especially if everyone piles into the system, sucks. And so that's my thing about this. And I would really like to see that. It's not like, some people think it's just a joke, right? To say the Hearing Protection Act because guns are loud. And the guns are still going to be loud. But it's just really nice to be able to be at an event like that. And everyone's having fun and it's not super loud.
I imagine the people that are listening to us have shot suppressors before. And if anybody comes across this and gets to this point and you've never shot a suppressor before, they're not quiet. They're quieter, but if I still wear ear protection for anything over a 9mm. Yeah, because it rings my ears, and I don't like to hear buzzing for the rest of the afternoon. My tinnitus is bad enough. It's better, and there's a lot of benefits to it. Like if you're out hunting, most hunters don't wear ear pro because they take one single shot. So over time, they're damaging their ears. There are lots and lots of benefits. The benefit to the green benefit that liberals, I don't think, understand. Like, you go to an outdoor shooting range, you're not disturbing the wilderness as much as you are if it's just loud gunshots. There's tons of benefits to
A lot of
suppressors.
There's a lot of things. You know, people feel like you can put Air Pro on your dog. It's a ridiculous thing. I've been to so many gun shows, and that's
Hank, do you know how
nonsense.
many times I get comments about old videos of either Sailor or Buck saying that dog didn't have any ear pro, and it's like, yeah,
Try it.
there's no putting ear pro on those dogs. They
No.
would never allow that.
No, they don't. And I've been to these shows and seen super trained dogs. And somewhere, like when I went to SHOT Show, I actually have a video of these. I don't know what kind of dogs they are. I think I've shown it to you before. I would have to go look and see if I can find it, though. But so you can see these dogs in a normal condition with those things on. But I've been and I've seen a lot of those dogs just take those things off. Now, some of them, if you really, really work on it, you might get it. But that's just one aspect of it, though. This is better for people who shoot repetitively to have suppressors on everything. And if you're already jumping through hoops to get the gun, why do you have to jump through hoops to get the suppressor? It's not going to make you more of a criminal and some kind of super stealth ninja that you can do bad things to people and no one's going to know. Like you said, 9mm, 5.56, still loud.
Every inner city black kid has a Glock switch. Every single one of them has a switch on their Glock. It doesn't matter to kids who are anybody who's being a criminal. Mm-hmm. They don't care. They don't care about the law. They will make a shitty suppressor. They will go steal somebody else's suppressor. They don't. Mm-hmm. All this is doing is hurting us as law-abiding citizens.
But suppressors aren't going to really mask like even a 9mm or 5.56, 308 for sure, AK. It's not gonna mask it so you could do bad things. Yeah, if 22, I shoot a 22. Like so, when I'm going after the squirrels out here, I did it today. I didn't get any of those bastards, but
everybody deserves a 10/22 with an integrally suppressed barrel because it's incredible. Mm-hmm. Everybody deserves it.
Yeah. So when was SHOT Show?
17 hours ago.
What?
This looks familiar. 1.1 thousand views on Guns Daily. I'm gonna send this to y'all.
Is this something that you did?
That's on Twitter. I'm just scrolling through Twitter while I'm yelling.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to find the thing with those dogs just so I could show people.
Nitrate says I'm on the fence when it comes to terminology, suppressor or silencer. It's actually silencer. Mm-hmm. If you look, the original patents and everything were for a silencer, but suppressor is just a more correct name. Mm-hmm. But they're the same. You can use either one. So if anybody ever tells you can't call it a silencer, tell them they're full of shit. The Maxim silencer, the first one ever created, was called a silencer, and the patent was for a silencer.
Yeah.
You call it a muffler, you call it a can, you call it whatever you want.
Yeah, let's see. I think this is the video. Let me see if I can get this up so you guys could see this. So here we go. This is that video I was talking about. He's wearing glasses. So you could do these silly tricks with dogs and stuff like that. They're wearing glasses. They're not even wearing... In the end, this is like a joke. They don't like it. If they get aggravated or whatever, they'll respond to it. But should they be used to loud noises and everything around them? Yeah, I think so. If they're actually going to go into some kind of combat or fighting situation, they should be used to loud noises, which, like, our dogs are used to that. So, like, my dog, he's no longer with us, but Sailor was very, very used to that and really didn't care. I'm not saying it didn't damage his ears. Of course it did. But he didn't give a crap. That put him in work mode whenever he heard gunshots. Yeah. So
check the group chat that I just texted.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I just think that if we don't, so you can remove the $200 I just don't know what it's even called if you don't have to pay the tax stamp, but whatever. You can remove that. If you have to jump through the hoops, that is still jumping through the hoops. It's not the Hearing Protection Act. It's not the essence of that is to make it easier for folks to get access to suppressors to put on their guns to save their hearing. So I don't think it becomes that. Now let me take a look at this. So is this you? Did you put Guns Daily?
No, this is some random thing on Twitter.
This is Walt. This is the Safety Harbor Firearms with 105K views. There you go. Awesome. Guns Daily. Okay, cool. I'll give that some love. We are both on
very much, so
we are both on the X for anyone who's out there. We're both on the X. I'm Hank Strange on the X, and then Patrick, of course, Babyface P. I post all of what I'm getting up to on X. I try to see like with the show's going on right now. I put it up there. I reposted John Crump's 2-3 minute, the fastest John Crump ever. I don't know how he did the breaking news from his phone. He got, well, there's probably a way he got this video in.
Because he's got that level of tism, is what he's got.
Yeah. He figured out a way to get it in there. Out. Look, he's in the car. He's in his, this looks like he's in a Bentley right here. I'm going to say it's a Bentley. I'm just making that up. Don't get mad at him. That's my Mother's Day post. Look at that. And, yeah, so I put all my stuff up there. Babyface P is Babyface P on there, I think.
Aren't you Babyface P? Real.
Yeah.
At real Babyface P.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
there
so complaining about it, it does nothing for us. So if you are, if you got the 5 minutes, call the Ways and Means Committee. I'll say the number one more time if you're sitting on your butt with a beer in your hand. 202-225-3625. I'll put it in chat if somebody wants. I got to sign in. If you want to call the Ways and Means Committee, everybody should. And just leave them a voicemail. Leave them a quick voicemail.
Cibola says never shot a suppressor or a machine gun. Wow.
You need to remedy that.
We got to fix that thing. Where is Cibola again? Tell us where you are. Man, that has to be fixed, sir.
We can fix the machine gun.
It's like you're walking through life pretty much a virgin. You've only gone to like maybe first or second base.
It's big. Yeah. I've popped a couple now. Even as an SOT now, I have gotten the opportunity to pop a couple of virgin machine gun cherries, and it was very fun to watch.
Yeah, we always like that. He's in Alabama.
It's really fun watching a first timer shoot a machine gun because their face just lights up.
It's awesome. It's something you have to experience in your life. So he's in Alabama. We got to work on that and see if we can figure out a way to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Shooting Gallery NE says a suppressor was one of the first things I grabbed when I moved to Florida, and I shoot mostly suppressed on all my guns, other than shotguns. And,
once you start shooting suppressed, when I was reloading 9mm, I basically only reloaded subsonic 9mm because that was the most fun to me. Shooting sub 9mm is really, really fun. That's all I ever reloaded. I never did 115s or 124s.
Yeah,
I always did subs.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to put cans on there. Now there's a universal setup, a universal suppressor thread that you can get. So it kind of helps out with the cost and everything, because I know the accessories and all that can get expensive. Night Train says, I'm still on the fence when it comes to the terminology, and that's what you were talking about, suppressor or silencer. Either one, it doesn't matter. I know people get all caught up. It's not like a thing of clip or magazine. That's my opinion. So there's some behind the scenes stuff. I know, like VSO was alluding to it, and there's some other things going on. And I don't want to throw me personally. I don't want to throw things out there until it becomes official. So in other words, like what's happening behind the scenes, I don't want to put names out there until it's official. Like some number of 2A organizations have confirmed and then are speaking about it.
I'm not the one that tries to jump on the
breaking news
I wait
bandwagon.
for somebody to write an article and then I will share it. I'm not the first one to jump on it because I never know if it's correct.
Yeah, but what is happening behind the scenes, and you could just imagine this. This is not like a leap of imagination here. So just think about this. What would happen if all of a sudden suppressors came off the NFA? Well, we already know. Huh? What?
You will not be, if suppressors it just came off the NFA, you will not be able to find one for the next 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. You better keep an eye out because every single one's going to be sold out constantly.
And the weird thing is, if you go back, right, like I said, this has happened several times. When this first came up years ago, what happened? A lot of people stopped buying. Stopped buying suppressors, and actually, the suppressor industry were the ones who put it out there. I remember being at a SHOT Show in Vegas, and it started coming out. And then people were like, "Oh shit, suppressors are coming off the NFA," and everyone stopped buying cans because they were waiting for it to come off. And then what would have happened if it did come off at that point, as Patrick is saying, you won't be able to find any because they wouldn't be able to make them fast enough. Everyone and their mama would be in the business.
That's not a bad thing. If they came off the NFA, you could make one yourself at home. That's one benefit. There's a lot of things. The market will eventually equalize itself. So that's one of those things that the price, PSA will start producing them. PSA would get into the suppressor market if they could sell them as. Could you imagine the PSA 9, the PSA 20?
I think technically they're already in the suppressor market. They're just not pushing it super hard right now.
They would pump them out like crazy. Just your run-of-the-mill 9, 22, 45, 5.56 cans. They would produce that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But the market would eventually catch up and things would be fine.
Yeah. However, that in-between time right there is what a lot of, I don't want to say a lot. There are people in the firearms industry, even including people who make suppressors, who are afraid of that, right? They think all of a sudden this will get out of control. Too much competition. Competition brings down prices. Prices coming down makes the profit very thin, and companies will go out of business, especially if they're over-leveraged.
Companies need to... That's the problem, is the over-leverage. But my answer to business has always been, I would rather, even if my profit margins are slim, I would rather somebody come and say yes to me doing work for them, because that equals money versus them coming in and saying, sorry, you're too expensive, I don't need the work done. That's just money that I don't get. I would much rather make a smaller, especially if you were doing manufacturing, make a smaller profit, but push more out the door and things equalize themselves. And then expand your business. You can buy 3 more CNC. There are benefits to selling at a cheaper price and moving volume. There are benefits to volume sales. But
so this how can I put it? Some people have a scarcity mentality. So in other words, they feel like there's not enough. I got to corner this more. No one else could do this thing. And some people have an overabundance mentality. That's, like I'm probably like that. I'm overabundance mode. If there's something that I like in the supermarket or whatever, I buy a shit ton of them when I have the money, right? I buy it. And then there's some people who just get one and then they'll go back and get another one. That's all well and good. But when it comes to companies, there's people who want to destroy the competition. Even in a game even in the gun world, where you would think these guys are pro Second Amendment and they wouldn't want to destroy, because we all need to get together on this, and you would think all tides, the tide raises all boats kind of a thing.
All ships raise. But there are companies that don't think that way. There are people that don't think that way.
No, there's quite a few people who don't think that way, and I think that includes probably amongst the suppressor or silencer manufacturers. I think most of them are gun guys, and they're down with anything that's pro Second Amendment and moves the cause forward. But there are some people who probably are like, nah, this is not going to work for me, and they've been, from what I hear, they've been in the background, talking to these Congress people and giving them that room to go, okay, well, we'll just do this then. And we'll still, leave it this way. And I just don't think I don't believe that's the right way to go. It's not the right way for the Second Amendment. It's not the right way for business either. I don't think so. This stuff should come off
less the books. Regulation is, find me an instance where less regulation was not better for the consumer in the end. There will be turbulence. There will be fly-by-nighters who create really bad cans that are cheap. That's going to happen.
That's going to happen initially, but so what?
People are going to see their way around them, and they're going to go,
be a smart consumer, and then eventually, if you... Well, see, but here's the thing. They want to rationalize the money of this. And by the way, from what I hear from people, the $200 is coming off for your tax stamp as a person, but the way that the language is, it's not coming off for the manufacturer. For when they...
manufacturers do not... When you create an NFA item, you don't pay a tax.
Oh, okay.
There's no tax.
Okay,
so
but...
you do the Form 2.
Okay.
It's called a Form 2? Form 3?
Mm-hmm.
You do a Form 3.
So at no point does that catch up to you? Like how many suppressors you make?
They have to pay excise tax like a regular gun manufacturer.
Okay.
So once they make 50 suppressors or whatever, they have to pay excise tax. That sucks.
Yeah.
That should also be gotten rid of. Mm-hmm. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So anyway, my thing, regardless of what's going on there, I think in the wording of it, which we don't really know until it's actually out there, the thing is that ultimately, if you build a better product, if you innovate, you will dominate the market. So, and you obviously you got to do marketing, but
that's one of the problems right now is we're running technology that's from 1920. Like there's nothing really drastic has happened. We've had better metallurgy, but that's it.
There's some, there are some industrial things I think that would make it easier. Maybe
3D printing is the biggest leap forward.
Yeah, in terms of slowing down, we're going to take a break here. So let's take that break and come back and talk about the industries. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com. Okay, so just to jump back into this. So, here's the thing. So far as the industry, you were just talking about Hiram Maxim, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
When was that? That's like a couple hundred.
1912.
1912. Okay, so like
something like that.
100 years.
100 and some change years ago. Yep.
Yeah. Now, technically, technology hasn't, or the technology of a suppressor hasn't changed, but there are things that have changed over that time. Industrial.
Through, and we've gotten better metallurgy, things like stellite, things like that, high temperature alloys, and we've gotten recently we've gotten 3D printing, which allows you to make more intricate designs. Mm-hmm. But it's still the same concept. It's still just a car muffler, is all it is.
I mean, because you're still doing, you're basically doing the same thing, right? If we're talking about traditional firearms,
that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, because there's a projectile that got gunpowder behind that explosion, and so you've got these hot gases. I mean, what's happening in there hasn't. There's nothing that's happened there that's changed that. So it's just a matter of like slowing down those gases, right, in order to muffle the sound, and also I think the image trace. Like what was suppressors mostly? I think in the beginning, obviously, it was to make it quiet like a muffler, but it's also to mask the image trace, right? Like if you're a sniper or whatever shooting from somewhere, military tactics wise.
Yes, no. It obfuscates your location. Right.
So, yeah, what's changed? There's not that much that's changed about that. So, what it's trying to do, but that doesn't mean you can't have innovations in there. I think it's cool that everyone's kind of going to that universal suppressor standard. That makes it more affordable.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and this will probably change if you can get these things off the NFA truly. But what happens is that you get a suppressor. In order to put it on a rifle, let's say, or a handgun, you need some accessory that goes on that rifle or handgun in order for you to connect the suppressor. Most of the time, even though you might have threaded on a lot of handguns, but there's something that might go along with that, right? You might need a booster, or like in the case of a rifle, you're removing the muzzle device, you're putting on another muzzle device, then the suppressor's going to connect to that. So there's all this stuff there's accessories that comes along with it, but there's still, I think in the beginning there was like 3 or 4 companies. Right now we maybe have like 300 or something companies,
manufacturers.
Yeah, manufacturers.
I can think of dozens offhand.
Yeah, at least 100. We could say there's at least 100, but there's still not enough that. So, for example, let's say we're talking about Silencer Co. and they've got their particular thread for their accessories that goes on, right? If they can't make enough of those accessories, because you don't have just one rifle, you might have 5 or 10, and you don't want to change everything every time, so you want to put a muzzle device on everything. If they don't make enough of those, then what do you do?
Yep.
Right? So now you would have to get different, like a suppressor for every gun, versus having one suppressor or a few suppressors, and you could put that on whatever gun you happen to be shooting. If they don't make those accessories, now where are you going to find that from if it's proprietary? But if you use a universal thread pitch, you can get that accessory from anywhere, and therefore, you can mix and match those things. So I think I don't know. Most people probably think that's not even a big deal. A lot of people don't even know about that, which is funny. But that's something I think that's a thing. The metals is a thing. There's got to be some technology for baffling the damn sound. There has to be a way, man. We can use AI. We can use modeling to.
I mean, this is the same. This is the same argument that I make about limiting people to manufacturing machine guns. We don't innovate. We haven't innovated in the machine gun realm because it's so difficult to get the licensing and keep yourself in business to try to make stuff. It's just not worth it from us.
You really have to sell a lot to make the money to do this. And this is why they don't even make a lot of the accessories in the first place, because why make more accessories than you're going to sell? So you've got to predict how many you need to make, and then you could be on or off that. And if you wind up with like 10,000 muzzle devices, let's say, right, that you don't sell, that's a lot of money that you burn if they don't sell. So a lot of times they undermake. Yeah. Do you consider integral barrels part of the innovation or no?
I think so. Integral barrels are interesting because they only really work for certain calibers. Doing stuff where you have to have a gas tube makes it a lot more difficult.
Okay.
But we've integrally putting a barrel together has been an idea since, the 1917 machine gun, the Maxim machine guns. They all had water-jacketed barrels, so it's not unusual.
So that's kind of like right in the beginning they were doing that kind of stuff.
It's just not a suppressor, but it's a barrel inside of a barrel with a water jacket to keep it cool. So it's kind of the same idea. We just now it goes on the end and makes it quiet instead. But again, we're talking about stuff from the 20s. Things haven't changed in a long time.
Yeah, I think we could move all this forward. I think the companies can make money. It would be in their benefit. I don't think they should support this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying who is or who isn't, because I think most of them probably are all for it coming off the NFA. It would just make it easier if you could just go out there and buy these things. If you could buy them online, buy them from a store, you don't have to go through a bunch of shit. I don't think you should have to even do a 4473 to get your hands on this stuff. It's kind of silly.
Yes, I agree with that too. But that won't be changing soon.
Yeah,
they're not. Are completely unconstitutional.
Yeah, are they firearms? They're not firearms.
They're not firearms.
They're accessories.
They're arms. They are arms that are used to defend or whatever for oneself. So they do fall under.
No, I'm talking about the suppressor. Yeah, okay, so you're saying like okay.
Because remember, to be covered by the Second Amendment, it has to be an arm.
It has to be an arm, right? I see what you're saying.
It is an arm. It's just not a firearm. It's not a gun. It's not.
Are we just considering it an arm because we want it to be, or what? No, you genuinely.
It genuinely fits into the category of Second Amendment. So.
Yeah. Accessories aren't covered.
They can be.
Or people argue that they're not covered.
Some people argue that.
Yeah,
but
I feel like if the accessory if the accessory is an integral part of the functioning of a firearm, it's covered. It should be covered by the Second Amendment. Like, you need a magazine in order to use this firearm.
Yes.
People shouldn't be able to go in, and I know that's happening, right? There's court cases out there where they're like, oh, you don't have the right to have 20 rounds in this gun.
The interesting thing is, every time they take that higher, every time they take that up, it always gets shown that, no, it is an arm. It's an arm. Yeah. So...
Yeah, it's part of this is a funny thing. Like, it's part of the function, but it's something that people go after in order to, for lack of a better word, suppress the use of the things. That's what's happening with suppressors. How do they wind up on this thing? Because they somehow were considered part of, like, you're a gangster if you have this. Like, why only a criminal would need to have a suppressor on their gun.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same with short-barreled guns and machine guns.
Yeah, even machine guns. Why would you need a machine gun? Only if you're a criminal.
And we had Supreme Court judges at the time that had very little concept of the true Constitution.
Yeah.
So
listen, this thing is going on out there. I think people should pay attention to it. It's kind of flying under the radar, which to me is, some people think it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing that this is all flying under the radar. There's folks who want to keep it under the radar so that the public opinion doesn't get affected by this, but then that means all the negotiating or whatever is happening back room. And if politicians get backroom deals going,
they're able to hide so much more from us, I think.
Yeah, they do dumb shit. So I favor letting the politicians know that you know what they're up to.
We know what they're doing. You're not hiding any of this from us, and we demand that we put you there to make changes, and these are the changes we want.
Yeah.
So do it.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have, I don't know if there's any more, let me look and see if there's any more like questions or comments on that particular thing. If not, we can move on from that. And meanwhile, I'll take the time to encourage people to smash those thumbs ups. We definitely need those. Let's see. Okay. There's other stuff going on in the news. Is there anything in particular that you want to talk about that's going on?
Not that I can think of.
What about the drug thing?
What drug thing?
So one of the things that Trump is up to is that he is making a deal on prescription drugs. Yeah. Let me see if I could pull this up. So I think, was it you that shared this?
Yeah, I sent it to y'all.
Yeah. So here, I'll just throw this up to give you guys an example of what we're talking about. This is from Nick Sorter. Is that who that is? Nick Sorter. And the pharma companies have been screwing over Americans for decades while giving sweetheart deals to foreign countries. And I think this is a post from Truth Social that was reposted from Donald Trump. For many years, the world has wondered why prescription drugs and pharmaceuticals in the United States of America were so much higher in price than they are in any other nation, sometimes being 5 to 10 times more expensive than the same drug manufactured in the same exact laboratory or plant by the same company. So I think he did an executive order today, and when I looked at the press conference, he was saying that he has a friend of his that was in England, right? And his friend happens to be, I think the way he put it is really, really fat. Or something like that, right?
Yeah, what was the way he said that?
Yeah,
that was really bizarre.
Yeah, it was where he's like, my friend, he's really taking the fat shot. He's complaining to me about the fat shot. It's too expensive, and it doesn't work.
It was really, really bizarre.
Trump. Trump is like your grandpa.
It doesn't make any sense sometimes. I don't know what he was. Most of the time, I can understand him. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, I played that for Lola. Lola was cracking up. So basically, he's talking about Ozempic.
Yes,
that's the fat shot.
Yeah,
the shot for fatties is what he's saying. The fatty shot.
Yes.
So he said his friend was in England. He took the shot. In England, it cost like $88. In America, the same thing. The guy pays $1,300. So he did an executive order on that.
Why should we be paying for the rest of the world to get supplemental drugs for free? Why should we?
Because this is the deal that they all worked out. The other countries around the world are not going to pay that. So America, these things do get developed here. We give tax breaks to these companies, and then
they charge us out the ass for them, and then they give them away for free.
Even though they could sell these drugs forever.
Yep.
Yeah, if they charged us the same $88 in America, they'll still make a shit ton of money.
Yep.
But they just make 10 times more money because we just let it happen, and no one ever did anything about it. So it looks like he's going to do something about it, which is good.
Yeah, I just don't know if the way he's going to do it is going to actually do anything. I don't know. Mm-hmm. The more interesting thing for me is seeing how the Democrats spin this, because obviously they are into this as well. I don't know. I'm curious to see how they spin this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you. I'm curious to see how they spin it. We have normal minds, so we can't necessarily think about how they could see it as a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And I was, because I think you said that earlier. Yeah, they're gonna figure out some way. This is killing the immigrants.
Yeah, something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's racist to make Americans pay less.
I don't know what they're gonna come up with something. They have
something. Yeah, I agree. There's something they're gonna come up with, because they are highly unlikely to just get along. Just go, no, this is awesome. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I did see the press conference. It had RFK Jr. in there. The whole thing. It was funny to me watching that press conference. Everyone has to stand there and wait for Trump to finish talking about, like I said, he's your grandpa. Mm-hmm. He goes on and on about the thing. You got to stand there. Yeah. So, but I agree with him on this one wholeheartedly.
I actually do too. I don't. Price fixing is not the answer, and I've said that before, but it's insane that if they're going to sell it overseas for $5, why am I paying $25? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense. Well, we should be getting the best price. We invented it. We put the labor. We did everything. Yeah. No. We get the best price.
Well, you're assuming that this is only going to sell for like 6 months. It's only going to be hot for 6 months. That's bullshit. If that's the case, why are we giving them patents on stuff? So that's the thing right there. If you have this drug, so for example, let's talk about the fatty shot, okay, for fatties like me, which I don't believe in taking those shots, by the way. There's some people who have to do it for their health and everything. I would just rather go the hard way, just control what you eat, exercise, etc.
Yes, it's not too hard if you just eat well.
Yeah. Everyone shouldn't be skinny, and some of those people that are on those shots look really bad, and you go past a point where you can't stop it from eating your body, and it's eating your bones. Your bone density is suffering, your muscle mass and stuff like that is suffering. So I don't recommend everyone go out there, and that's not what I'm trying to say here. But let's say we have that shot. There's a fatty shot now. You're a fatty like me. You're like, oh, I'll just go take the fatty shot. When is that going to run out? Never.
Yes.
It's never going to run out.
Yes.
Okay? So why do you, you're amortizing this over forever. You don't need to get, $1,300 every single time someone gets that.
So the argument that the drug companies use is the profits we get from selling our drugs to you, we put into research and development. That's the argument. And whether you agree with it or not, I can't say. I'm just saying that is the argument they make. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely retarded.
Yeah,
because they're not,
and they're selling it for a thing they're selling to the world.
When the CEO is making $45 million for the year, clearly it's not going, enough of it is not going into R&D.
Right. Yeah. And they have a lot of stuff. I can confidently say it's not a conspiracy. They have a lot of stuff they're not putting out there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And also, by the way, they're going to have a drug to counteract the side effects of these
side
drugs.
Effects, the bone loss, the everything. Yeah.
Yes,
they have
that's really where they're going to make money, because you take the fatty drug, then you become a vampire because now your ass is too bony, and then there's going to be the bony drug. You take this bony drug, and it brings back your bones and some muscles. It's craziness, and I know that sounds weird to everyone, but I've seen it. I worked for a long time in healthcare. I'm not personally in the medical field. I don't have any degrees, but I worked, for example, in a halfway house for insane people. And when they came into this halfway house, they had to take drugs, and I remember it would be like a solo cup full of drugs, Patrick. And I remember going like, yeah, I was like, why are there all these drugs in this thing? And this one person was explaining to me why they're drugs, because you're literally just giving them drugs. And they're like, oh, this is the original pill that I had to take. Then I got this side effect, so I had to take this pill. Then I had to take this pill for the side effect of that. But the combination of all these pills gave me different side effects, so I got to take this thing. That's how people become zombies. So
yes, and those drugs, I can tell you, I did some drug trials while I was working for another company, and some of those drugs are absolutely horrific. The side effects they give you are horrific.
Oh yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, Cibola said you worked at a hospital. So if you're out there in the field, you can see this. Lola is a pharmacist; she sees this, and even she knows, and she makes her money from that. But it's horrible to see.
Yep.
So. What would you like to have? We got 58 seconds. What drug would you like to have that you could just take a drug and it does it for you, Patrick? If it could give you no horrible side effects.
Oh, if I could take some sort of drug that would just get rid of my anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I've told Marley before that if they ever got to the point, because I have pretty bad anxiety and I take a medicine for it, and I don't like doing it. I really hate it, but it runs in our family. I've told Marley before that if they ever got shock therapy back to the point where it actually worked, or like ketamine therapy, I would go do that. I would literally, I would pay lots of money to fully remove my anxiety. I don't think it's possible, but I would pay.
So this is super personal, so I don't expect you to answer it. Have you ever heard of the ganja?
I have, and it supposedly works, but there's all the other.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that goes behind that. You were going to be right back here in a second. The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years' experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com. Yeah, I am not supporting anybody smoking anything. I have never smoked cigarettes. I did smoke a cigar one time when I survived that thing in Utah.
I like a good cigar every now and then.
Yeah. And I've never smoked weed, but I grew up. That was like the first smell I could ever remember.
Lots of ganja.
Yeah, and from the Caribbean, that's a normal thing. It's a natural thing. I don't have any problems with it. The smell is really freaking horrible.
I walked into the gun store today from testing a firearm for a customer, and was like, and I looked at one of the guys over across the counter, and I was like, and he's like, I thought I smelled that too, and I was like, okay, so it's not you, who? And then one of the other guys was like, yeah, the dude that just walked in here and had me change a muzzle device smelled like weed.
Yeah, I mean it's a potent smell. But you know what? I would say this. I think a lot of people have anxiety, me included, and for some people it's worse than others.
Mine, it got so bad when I was freshly out of college that I became like a shut-in, where I couldn't go to work, I couldn't get anything done, and I had to go get some medication to help me. And again, the sad thing is it runs on our family because my grandmother had it too.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I would say if people have things like that, definitely get help for it. But be careful. I cannot avoid taking drugs. There's things I have to take, right? There's always some kind of medication that you have to take out there. We can't avoid it. But if I can, I try to not take things I don't have to. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, if things get... for example, if things do get apocalyptic, how the hell are you getting any drugs?
That is something I've actually thought about. And as that may be...
Stay away from Patrick, because you're going to get slaughtered.
But as stupid as that may be, I've thought about that before. And it's not even apocalyptic. It's like if we have a bad hurricane or if we have some natural disaster.
We don't make our drugs here. You know that, right?
We don't, yes. Yeah. Or if China has a bad hurricane or natural
disaster. If China just gets mad at us. I mean, right now they supposedly went on a 90-day moratorium. They're like working out the trade thing. But what if they just go, screw you, America?
Yes. I've thought about that many times, that things can just...
What if they mess with the drugs? What if they're like, we're going to send these drugs to America. It's going to turn everybody crazy.
Turn them all gay.
Yeah, so... we need to make our shit here. But...
Yes.
I try to... Things that I don't have to take, I try to, come off of it. Even if I pay a price for that or whatever, I try to not do it.
When I tried to cut my own arm off that time, I told them don't give me ketamine. Or it wasn't ketamine, it was fentanyl. I was like, don't give me fentanyl. I need to remember this level of pain that I'm feeling right now and never make this.
And he didn't try to cut his arm off. It was a total accident because
it was a machining accident.
He's hyperactive. So you're like that.
I was like, no fentanyl. I need to remember this till the day I die. How painful this is.
Yeah. No, it's a good lesson for you because this is the opposite between me and you. See, like me, everything I do, I go easy. I take my time. I'm like, let me make sure I'm going through the steps. Patrick is like, this needs to get done.
Skip ahead.
Just do this right now.
Yeah. The reason I was 1 minute late is because I was cleaning this and I had to have it done.
Yeah. He's like a caveman. He will literally bang a nail with his head if that's what it takes to get the nail in.
Sometimes it's needed.
So that's how that crazy stuff happens. Which, yes, you need that little warning sign in life on the road to tell you, chill the hell out. Do you enjoy having two arms? Yeah. Then go easy. Okay, do you want to talk about guns?
Yeah. So I got a new gun.
Hold on. Let me go full screen here with you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go full screen here in a minute. Give me 1 second here. Let me
show
do
off
that.
what I got. Put it back in its little box.
Let's switch this over. Yeah. So let me see. There we go. Boom.
I have wanted a Tupperware Glock. And for any youngins out there that don't know what Tupperware Glocks is, the Glock Gen 1s and Gen 2s came in this plastic case, not the snap cases that we're used to today, which is like Tupperware. So that's why they're called Tupperware Glocks. I've wanted a Tupperware Glock for years. And I've never found one that I wanted to pay the price for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other day I was on the internet going, I want to buy me a gun. And I came across a Gen 2 Tupperware Glock. And it was very reasonably priced, so I picked it up. This one is serial number TG46964. I called Glock today, and they said this one was made in 1990, December of 1990.
So you can actually call these mofos, and they'll tell you. You can call them up.
You're Gen 1. You should call them tomorrow, or just give me the serial number, and I'll call them.
Oh, okay.
And they'll tell you when it was made. They'll tell you what year, what month, and what year.
Is this an automated thing or a person?
No, the person picked up, and I said, hey, I got a serial number. Can you let me know when it was made? And they went, oh, yeah, hold on. Give me the serial number. And the guy's like, that was made in December of 1990.
Oh,
and I was
sweet.
like, can you tell me what the police department had it? And he was like, nah, I can't. I don't have that much info. So.
One more year, and it would have been your birth year. Imagine if you can get your birth year. No, hold on. 89? Was
89.
There? No.
There are Gen 1s from 89.
Gen 1s.
And
Ooh.
Now,
I wish I could find out this is a Gen 1
if
from
that's an 89 Gen 1, I will want to buy it from you very badly.
Oh, I will get that Tudor from 1970 something that you have.
Not for Gen 1 for that. But I wanted a 1989 Gen 1 very badly. But yeah, so this one came along. I picked it up. I'm really excited because this is Gen 2. And if anybody out there has ever played the original Half-Life, the original pistol that he carries in Half-Life is a Gen 2 Glock 17. This one came with the box, the Tupperware. One semi-original restricted law enforcement 9mm magazine. And then two Gen 5 Brand new Gen 5 Glock magazines. The orange.
So where was the? Do you know where this gun was used? I saw you talking about something in a back chat that we have.
Yeah, rumor on the internet seems to think that these came out of the DC Metropolitan Police.
Oh, okay.
Because a whole bunch of these hit the market like 6 months ago, which that's why I was surprised. I never saw them hit the market. I would have bought one back then. And then I found one the other day, and this was the last one that particular gun shop that I called had.
So you have all the Tupperware for this, but how would someone know if they're looking at a Gen 2 or like here, let me see. I'm going to put
Vulture's up. Yours is a Gen 1, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to me first here. What camera am I going to?
So
nope, not that camera. Wrong camera. Here we go. All right. So right here, how do I tell from this?
If you look at the texturing on the grip, that is called pebble texturing. So that's a Gen 1 because it has a wraparound pebble texture.
Oh, okay.
That's Gen
so
1.
Because there is no like they don't put G1 or G2 on it, right?
Nothing like that.
But the new ones do have that though. They have like G4 or something.
Yeah, they probably have that stuff.
Okay, cool. Let me go back to you.
So
okay,
Gen
hold on.
1
I'm gonna
has
switch
the wraparound pebble.
Okay.
Gen 2 is still no finger grooves, but they added front and back serrations. So it's the texture that we're used to on the Gen 3s, but there's texturing on the front and on the back. That gives you a Gen 2, and there's still no light. There's still no Glock rail, so you can't put a light on these.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So there's also no accessory rail on it and all that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
When they moved to the Gen 3s, they added finger grooves and an accessory rail. When they moved to the Gen 4, they added stronger texturing. And then when they moved to the Gen 5, they got rid of the finger grooves and they kept the stronger texturing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, after this, I'll send you the thing, and then we'll see.
I'll call tomorrow. If it's an 89, you're gonna have to come off it for me.
You will have to figure out how to get another one.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to get one from 1972. But obviously, this was not around in 1972. What the hell?
You ever found a gun that you want from 1972?
No, I was gonna ask you. Like, do gun guys even like? Is that a thing for gun guys to collect their birth year guns? I don't know. People tell me. Tell us in the chat.
I kind of realize that I want to do that now. If I find
that would be cool. So, what was a cool ass gun in 1972 that I could look for? I don't even know.
Get an MP5, but so a lot of the things like that would be full autos. That's the problem. You could get an M16, not a full auto M16. You could get like an SP1. You could probably find like an SP1 from 1972.
Damn it!
Now I'm gonna ask Twitter what guns were.
Yeah, what were the badass guns? And some of the dudes out there in 1972 were probably buying guns. You could tell me in 1972 I was in a socialist communist nation called Guyana, and their asses.
This is what you should try to find right here because you've talked about these before. Walther PPKs, the 380 Walther PPKs, they were made in 72 because they're pretty old.
Oh.
So when it came to handguns, it says Colt 1911.
Oh, because James Bond. Oh.
James Bond, yeah, you could get a 1972.
Wait.
That was pretty cool.
What okay, so how would I tell in 1972? Let me see if I can look that up.
You would have to learn the serial numbers. And then when you came across an older Walther PP, you'd have to call Walther and say, "Hey, I got this serial number." Or you check online and see. Some places keep those serial numbers like a database that you can look up.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm gonna share my phone with you guys here. So this is what I see. This is what comes up when I'm looking.
You know what? I got an. I would in the garage right now.
A 1972 Walther PPK or 1911?
I think my Python might be a 70. It's either 72 or 74, and my Colt 1911 might be a 71 or a 72.
A PPK would be so nice. Did they do wood grips on PPKs back in 1972?
Yes, they did. They did. Really nice.
They had the dark wood.
Dark wood, yeah. You could do that. You could find one of those. I bet you they made a lot of those too, so you probably could find one if you looked around.
Yeah. Let's see.
You just gotta see all the serial numbers, and you gotta look. Let's see. Walther PPK.
Yeah, but do people put years? So, like, if you're looking at Gunbroker, do people put the year of that gun in there?
You need to look at the serial numbers. So, I'm looking up the serial numbers right now.
Okay. This needs to be one of your missions. I will pay you a finder's fee to find me a Walther PPK from 1972, sir. You know I was also named after James Bond, actor.
Oh, really? That's how your first name came about. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, listen. In 1972, in the Caribbean, where I was born, they had something called movies. So in Guyana, you either had most of the movies were Indian movies, and then every now and then you would get they obviously had British movies. So James Bond, Sean Connery was the frickin' man when I was born. So all the ladies in the Caribbean were naming their babies
Sean.
Yes. Unfortunate. That's why you see I hate it so much.
I didn't realize that's where it was from.
That's why whenever I meet someone whose name is Sean, I go, whoever gives their kids that name makes their kids evil. So, but yeah, he was like, I guess that goes with a lot of actors and stuff like that. If you go through generations of why people have some stupid ass name,
Yeah, I'm sure that was popular.
Yeah. There was somebody, this name was popular. So yeah, there's a crap ton. Let me see. There's some comments in here. Kurt24 says local shop kicks people out for smelling like weed, and it's legal here, but not federally. Yeah, you can't. That's an unfortunate thing. They need to take it off the 4473s, in my opinion.
The local shop that I do work with does not kick you out for smelling like weed. They just tell you, listen, I can't. If you are seriously considering buying a firearm, they'll tell you, listen, we can't sell it to you today. Come back tomorrow and buy it. We're happy to sell it to you tomorrow, but you cannot.
But technically, they're making you lie on that form, which they can use against you later on if they want to.
You gotta be careful with stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. Night Train says Glocks are sexy. Mr. Bullshitter says, Hank, my name is Sean. Don't hate me, or something like that, he says. I don't hate it. I have plenty of friends with that name. It's so freaking common. It is so ridiculously common. It's not. I think in my phone, I have probably 20-something people with that name, a whole bunch of friends and all that kind of stuff with that. So I don't hate anyone for it. I just make, and most of the time, no one with that name knows why I'm saying that they're evil. I just get evil looks and everything. And sometimes Lola has to go behind me and explain why I'm making that joke. So
I don't like people with my same name. If I ever meet Patrick, I'm
I don't respond to that, by the way. There's people who try to call me by my government name, and I don't freaking respond.
You know what's funny? I tell Marley that all the time. Marley says, Patrick, no, dude, or Patrick, and I'm like, don't call me by my government name. You are not allowed to call me by my government name. Ever.
Don't call me out my name, woman.
Yeah, I don't like it. That only means when I'm in trouble for something. So
yeah, exactly. Oh, Lola does that when she gets mad.
Yeah.
She wants to annoy me. Yeah, she does that to me. So yeah, you're on the hunt right now. 1972 PPK though would be badass.
Yeah, and anybody out there want to get rid of a Glock, a Gen 1 Glock, especially with Tupperware, I would be very happy to take it off your hands.
What was the? Let me look this up. I think there was
the serial number because there is a.
of this one.
Yeah, that Glock. Because there are some things out there that have.
Now you've got to find out.
Now I want to know how old it is because they dated Gen 1's dated all the way back to 81 or 82, something like that.
Oh, this serial number is actually interesting. I'll send it to you.
Okay, send it over. And I will absolutely call Glock in the morning and figure it out for you.
Yeah.
The guy didn't even care. The guy, clearly people do this all the time because the guy was just like, yep, it was from this time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so is this supposed to have a Tupperware container? Because I don't know if I got a Tupperware container. Originally. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think when I bought this, I got a Tupperware thing with it.
Most people didn't keep them.
Yeah. And then, let me see. Hold on. Since I told Lola you were going to talk about Glock, so I was like, I'm not going to let Patrick out Glock me. Oh, look at that. This is the 22 Glock, the 44.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this? Oh, you know what I saw? Brandon Herrera put up a video about the Zip 22. It's over 1 million views.
I know, and the sad thing is, I would like to own a Zip 22 at some point, and I will never be able to get one.
Yeah, you did the video with mine. It didn't get 1 million views, but
I'm not Brandon Herrera.
Yes, exactly. Everyone go check those out. Those are like he said is the worst gun in the world, which is true.
It's literally the worst gun ever made.
But that's what makes it awesome to collect.
Yeah. It's the worst gun ever made.
So check this out. Remember this? This is the reissue of the...
Yeah, that's a Gen 1, but it's not a real Gen 1. See, that's the thing, though, for me. I could get that, yes, but I want a real Gen 1.
Yeah, but these are still collectible. Still cool. And it has the whole Tupperware thing in there. The whole Tupperware and then the gun and all of that. And yes, it does have like the texturing. Yeah, but it is... And then did they mark... Jennifer.
They stopped.
Oh, and then
Jennifer.
they put P80 on the
Because that's what they put on the original Austrian guns that went to the military.
So in the beginning, they didn't put anything really on the slides.
No, not a whole lot.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is still cool. I would like to get a Tupperware. So what is the reason for the hole? Look, I noticed yours has like mine's covered over with plastic.
There is a good chance that your Glock 17 is probably from 1988.
Oh, if that's the case, you'll never get it from me. You know why?
More than likely 88.
You know why?
Is that when you got married?
No. What?
I don't know what. I don't know.
In 1988, I got married to Lola. Lola would have been like 13 years old.
Oh, I didn't have any concept of how old you are.
I think I was in 1988. I was 16 and I graduated high school. Yep. Yeah.
I'll call tomorrow and I'll ask and I'll get you a hard number on it.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
But no, I am.
Lola would have been 14 back then, or something like that.
Once I pay for this one, because I do, I try not to. I try not to buy more guns than I can pay for at the moment, because I like to pay cash for my guns. Once I pay for this one, I will probably be looking for a Gen 1.
Yeah, I have a couple of things on the list. Right now, at ACR is on my list.
I can get you one. I can get you an ACR.
Lola will not allow me to go to that budget level.
I need to know the budget then, because I can offer on some of them, but I got to know what you're
right now. Lola is in a mood of whatever I try to get approvals for gets shot down. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to make her.
What you got out there in the safe? Let's get some stuff sold. You got a gun you ain't using? Let's sell it. I'll get you an ACR.
Oh no. Night Train says I have a friend who is a state trooper in North Carolina whose name is Sean. There you go. Mr. Bullshitter said everyone hates their government name.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Kurt24 says I graduated in 88 also. Oh, cool. And C. Bullis says I turned 18 in 88. Awesome.
There you go.
Night Train says I was living in New York City in 1988. So was I. So we were in New York City at the same time. I was in Queens. I was in Far Rockaway, yo. So I don't know where Night Train was at that time, if he even knew. Far Rockaway is like the last stop on the A train. Okay, let's see. No, I've got some. I want to get a Bushmaster ACR. Now you've got me where now I want a PPK from 19. Folks, let me tell you about U.S. Law Shield. If you're serious about your Second Amendment rights, then you need to get serious about protecting yourself legally. Use promo code HANK for 2 free months on an annual membership, plus a locked-in rate of just $10.95 per month. Remember, the fight for freedom doesn't end at the range. Arm yourself with U.S. Law Shield, and remember to use promo code HANK. So I'm looking up to see if there was a James Bond movie in 1972. It was Diamonds Are Forever.
Hey! Diamonds and I guarantee you care to be then.
Yeah. Diamonds Are Forever also has one of my favorite cars, which you hate.
I hate
you hate it and you love it. That's a clue to you.
It's not a Tesla, huh?
In 1972?
I hate it and I love it.
You hate it and you love it, and I'm going to put some up on the screen right now for you. Boom!
Oh, those ugly Mustangs. Yeah, those things.
These are not ugly, man. These are good looking. The Mach 1. The Mach 1. Look at that.
Those 60s rather. 60s.
Oh, well, yeah, this is like a 70. I think this is a toy right here.
71 right here.
This is a toy. This is a toy we're looking at. But that's a beautiful car. You don't like that?
Ugly. Ugly.
So that's what James Bond was driving in Diamonds Are Forever, which the James Bond back then was what's his face?
It's not Sean Connery still, right?
No, Diamonds Are Forever, I think was Roger Moore. Hold on.
Okay.
I think it was Roger Moore. Who I kind of like. Here's my problem with Roger Moore, right? Like I grew up. I lived in England in the late 70s, and he was the Saint. Oh no, it was Sean Connery. Okay, good. I'm happy. I'm happy. So Roger Moore was the Saint in England. I don't know if you ever heard of the Saint. It was kind of like a James Bond, and it was the Saint. So anyway, he's cool for that, but he's a very anti-gun dude. He's the most anti.
What do you expect?
Yeah, he's the most anti-gun James Bond. Look at this. Look at what this F1 could. Look at what this. Do you know what a freaking? Do you?
Oh my God. It's so cheesy. It's so bad. Oh
Look,
God.
Sean Connery.
So bad and so cheesy.
Let me see this. I hope this loops again. But now I need to know what was his movie? I know he had a PPK probably in here, but
oh yeah, I think Sean Connery. I think always had a PPK. I don't think he ever had anything else.
But there's a poster where they have that Walther that was like a BB gun, really, or airsoft or something. Remember? Yes, lots of cool things. Diamonds Are Forever is a good movie, man. Like in the 70s, that's when they had the hot chicks in the 70s. You know, you could actually have some meat on your bones back in the 70s. I like that movie. It takes place in Las Vegas. You know, all that good stuff is in there. So I'm trying to figure out. The 70s, man. That was good times. Coming out of the 60s, our parents were getting all kinds of STDs. There was no care. This was before AIDS came along and ruined everything.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Bullet says Sean Connery. Night Train said Roger Moore. Yeah, it was Sean Connery. Roger Moore was very anti-gun. Did not like guns. That's why if you look at his James Bond movies, there's not a lot of gunplay. And I think he was probably the one that was he in the movie poster where they had the fake?
Maybe.
Do you remember the name of that Walther? Let me see. Roger Moore. It was a Walther something. I'm trying to remember.
Was it a fake gun of some kind?
Yeah, it was an airsoft. You didn't know this? Mm-mm. There was one of the James. Maybe it was Sean Connery. No, it was Sean Connery that was in that too. There's there's a Sean Connery movie poster where the gun in there is a Walther, but it's not a. Hold on, right here. Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna put this up here, and I will find out exactly what this gun is called. But so in this poster right there, let me go back to. Here's another one. This is it. That is not. Let me see if I can show this. This is not a real gun.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's not a real gun. That's a BB gun.
Yeah, that's a BB gun, but I guess
that.
It just looked cool back in the days. I wouldn't mind having one of those, whatever they're called. I don't know what those are, but that was in a cartoon. I was looking at like the Venture Brothers, and they were talking about that in a cartoon I was looking at not too long ago. But yeah, Walther PPK.
I didn't finish the Venture Brothers. I need to.
Venture Brothers is so awesome, man.
Very good. It's a really good show.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a movie. Did you see that? They put out a movie.
Well, no, I wanted to finish the show before, and I just haven't. I need to.
I watch that over and over again. Yeah, I'm probably on my 10th time of going through the whole.
You could just leave it in the background, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. What other guns are on your list right now of guns you need to?
Gen 1 Glock, and I'm always in the market for anything John Browning that I don't already own. So I'd like to. I'm getting rid of some stuff. If anybody out there was a U.S. Marine and they would love to get their hands on a U.S. Marine Corps 1903 Springfield, I do have one that's needs to go away. I'll make you a good deal on it, so that's got to go. But anything John Browning and anything John Browning that I don't already have, I'd like to get. I'd like any of the older stuff in 1890, 1892, 1894. I need a 1895. I gotta get all of it. I gotta get all the Browning stuff.
Oh, okay. So you don't have enough John Browning guns now.
No, there's never enough John Browning.
How many 22s do you have that are John Browning?
4,
Oh, okay.
5.
Yeah.
I have a Browning 22, SA 22. I have the Colt Woodsman. I have the 1890. I have the 1906. I thought I had one more. Maybe
Was Browning ever connected to a bullpup of any sort?
No, that blasphemy wasn't done until like way later.
Damn it. Okay. Well, I guess I can't collect it. I can't do it then. I do have some. I have some stuff that's on my list that's not. I've always wanted actually a PPK with.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You got to get a 1972 PPK. So don't get just any PPK.
No,
if you
yeah.
come across one and you can tell that it's a 72.
Yeah.
You pay the money.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to look at 72 watches, but my favorite night watch from 1972 is ridiculously expensive. It's
you know what you could do?
Uh-huh.
We should do this right now. I'm going on Gunbroker, and I'm just going to type in 1972 and see what comes up.
And see if guns come up in there?
Yeah, yeah. There people put dates in their listings, so
that's
tell
good.
you if there's a listing. Here's a Colt Python. Here's a Ruger Mark I. Beretta, a Colt Junior, a Colt. Oh, this would be really cool. A Colt Detective Special with some nice bluing on it.
What are those little Colts that you have one and Walter has one? It's like a 25 or something.
Vest pocket, a Colt vest pocket.
Yeah, that would be cool if I could get one from 1972.
I think they stopped producing the vest pocket well before that.
Before 72, okay.
Vest pocket. I think that was.
This is how you know you're becoming an old dude when you're. That's why, like right now, the 1972 cars are also expensive, or the 70s cars.
The vest pocket was. They stopped producing the vest pocket in 1948.
Oh wow. Okay.
If I come across a PPK, I'm gonna tell you. There's a Heckler & Koch HK4 on here, which is their version of the PPK.
What does that look like? Hold on.
It looks. Do a quick search for the HK4.
Okay, hold on.
It looks very much like a rounded PPK.
Is that cooler? HK4.
I think the Walther's a little cooler.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what it is.
But I think the Walther's probably
no, the Walther has more provenance because of the James Bond thing, probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is more rounded off, though. It looks more modern. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, I think HK was going for a modern look.
Yeah, are those good guns? Easy?
I don't know. I've never shot one. Don't know much about them. But this is interesting.
That probably wasn't...
I've never thought to look at Gunbroker for dates.
By the year, yeah. Your year of birth was a cool year, too, because 88, 89, the late 80s, man, all those guns were in movies and stuff like that,
80s gun movies were pretty good, I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of cool guns in those things to look back on. So, what's this?
There's lots of books.
Night Train says, "Here you go, Hank. There's some kind of link from Gunbroker. Let me see. I might have to open that.
If there's no way you found a BPK from 72.
Oh, he did apparently.
No way.
The starting bid is $1,250.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the price of PPKs. That is 100% the price of a PPK.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
PPKs draw big money. They're not cheap.
Yeah, I'm going to have to consider that.
If you've been wanting a PPK, getting one that's your birth date is pretty cool. That'd be pretty neat to me.
Yeah, Cibola says, if I had the cash, I would go for the 1903 Springfield.
I'll cut you a deal because it's I need it gone.
Yeah.
It is kind of it's more expensive than your standard because it is a U.S. Marine Corps marked gun. But
okay. Yeah, and that's I think we've seen that here on the show, right?
Yeah, that's one I had on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm trying to think of what other guns out there I really want to
see what
to get into. Oh, here's some other gun news before we get out. What I guess we could talk about.
Yeah. Oh shoot! It's already 9:00.
Yeah, if you let's see here, I'll put this up here.
Oh, Hank Strange, 1989 Glock 17 Gen 2 with factory box.
What? How much is it?
It's a penny start. Nobody's bid on it yet.
Mm.
I might have to watch this one,
Mm.
especially if the box matches the gun.
Yeah.
I might have to bid up this one.
What year was the one that you just bought from?
1990.
1990. Okay. Let's see. So CBC Global Ammunition to build $300 million facility at Pryor's Mid America Industrial Park. So I think this is Oklahoma or something like that. So Oklahoma, let me see. Oklahoma City. Governor Kevin Stitt announced that one of the largest ammunition manufacturers in the world is planning a $300 million expansion project for a new facility in northeast Oklahoma. Should be 350 new jobs. I think they're going to do 9mm. When I was reading through this, it was talking about they're going to do those calibers that we really need.
So they're actually going to, somebody's going to be producing more ammunition?
More ammo. Yeah, I mean, we should have been done that one. But that's good news, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Have you been to Oklahoma? I think I've driven through Oklahoma a few times.
No, never have. I've never been there. I heard there's nothing there. I heard there's very little there.
Let me see. I'm trying to see what other crazy things. This has got nothing to do with anything, but if you like watches, which I do, I like all kinds of different watches, Bulova has a pretty cool movie that's on Amazon Prime called America Telling Time 150 Years of Bulova.
That'd be cool.
And if you if you look on Amazon Prime, you'll be able to find it. It's got this symbol in front of it. So, hold on. We got a baby sighting coming in.
Good night, everybody.
Hold on, let me go full screen. Bam.
Who's that? That's Mommy.
Yeah, who's that guy? There you go. I'll take it.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Yeah, it's the beginning of the end for you.
Oh, it is. Believe me.
Yeah, he's talking. He's going to be talking your business.
All he's
Yeah. I looked at this Bulova movie, by the way. Very good movie. Bulova started in New York City, American company. If you're a New Yorker, you probably know Bulova. My oldest watches that I still have is a Bulova, and I think we did Bulova's.
They make good stuff.
Yeah, did we do Bulova for the celebration of 1,000 episodes? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
very good watches, and it now belongs to a Japanese. I think it belongs to
Citizen Group.
I think it's Citizen Group. Yeah. So good company, good watches. It's a good movie to watch to look at the history of stuff, and they made military watches and all that kind of thing. Very cool.
Founded in Queens, New York, in 1875.
Yeah. So for a lot of good reasons, I'm a fan of Bulova and the watches.
I have some cool Bulovas.
Yeah, we get to 2,000 episodes, Patrick. I'll get you another Bulova.
You
will be literally about 70 years old.
Yeah, at this rate, yes.
We slowed down a lot since we hit 1,000. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're at, what is this, 161, I want to say? Yeah, 160, we're at 1,061, so we slowed down a little bit, but, we're still going. We're still kicking ass. I think we're probably the longest, not the longest, because there's older podcasts out there, gun podcasts, like We Like Shooting has been out there for a while. Talking Lead has been out there for a while, so... I'm trying to see any other cool new stuff or gun sales or anything like that come up that you want to get
nothing
into?
lately. I'm glad I got myself a Glock, an old school Glock. But nothing that I've seen that I've had to have. Because me, if I see something I gotta have, I'll go get it. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think we're the old gun guys now because we're going for the old... Well, you always went for the older guns, to be honest.
I like older stuff. I've always liked older stuff.
Yeah, and Walter always went for the older guns too, but you know, let's see. Look, I think GOA published something about what we were talking about here.
Did they? They have something for us?
Let me see. Let's see if we could pull this up, and we'll talk about what GOA was talking about here. And we got like a few minutes left. Let's see. Okay. The House Ways and Means Committee has betrayed gun owners. We must demand they add the Hearing Protection Act and Short Act to their bill now. And there's a number, the same number I think that you put up before. There's a video here from gun owners. Explanation, probably better one than what we're giving here, that you guys can go to and figure out how to get in touch with these guys. I recommend to do it. I think I'm not in the camp of not doing anything at all. I think that's the worst thing that we could do.
You got to do something. Yes.
Yeah, and at some point, I think we got to get some of these rhinos out. That's my feeling on this.
I agree with that.
They have to fair us, and if they could just keep telling us, oh, let's just wait till the midterm, they'll just keep pushing it down. And if they say, oh, but what are you going to do? You're going to get, like, Democrats in here, and that's going to be worse. That can't be a good excuse forever.
If Democrats were in office, Republicans would be paying attention.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. When Democrats are in office, we actually listen to what they're doing. Where when Republicans are in office, we pretend like, oh, they're going to have our best interest at heart.
Yeah. Kurt24 says usually Crump does his show at 10 on Mondays, I think, right? That's the time.
Oh.
So after this, you guys can go over there and make sure you follow, subscribe, or whatever it is here on Rumble to John Crump. I think Babyface, you have a Rumble.
Yeah, I don't post there, but
okay. Walter has one. Flying Rich has one. Dark has one. Who am I missing? Shooting Gallery has one. Yeah. Yep. So just follow everyone on here. I appreciate all the people who hang out with us and watch the show. I think we do pretty good. Let me see. We got 25 people watching us live right now, which is better, unfortunately, than what was happening over at Player. I think that was getting kind of old. I don't know what's the deal with that or whatever, but it seems like there's a bigger audience over here. We're obviously going to have to build it up. Like right now, we've got 54 followers, so we got about half of them watching right now. So we got to just build it up, get to 100. Yeah, everything starts from zero. So that's how it goes, man. I'm approaching 250,000 subscribers on Stranger Palooza.
Jesus Christ! When you're in the algorithm, it actually works for you. So sad.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I've been putting a lot of my effort.
It's so frustrating that it's eclipsed the other channels so quickly.
Yeah, it's too bad. I would still rather be doing the majority of my stuff, gun stuff, but. I think the folks who got really big benefit the most right now, and then I didn't get that big, and then I got shadow banned, and it's hard to shake that. If you're probably coming in and starting fresh right now, you could do well.
I think so, and I've thought about doing that.
Rich is doing pretty good with the Shorts channel that he has.
He's catching up to me very quickly.
Yeah. So
you'll pass me up in no time and continue growing as long as he keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a good handle on that, But there's a lot of things you and I could do. I always thought maybe we could do a watch thing or something. Yeah. Just talk shit about watches.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, right now I know you're pretty busy doing
trying to start a business.
Yeah, as a gunsmith. I think that's going well, right? We could say everything's going good with that.
I have so much work in the safe right now that I don't even want to think about it. And I don't want to complain. I don't want to complain because I don't want less work. I want more work. Mm-hmm. But I have a whole month's worth of work sitting in the safe right now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Since we're here at the end, let's take this opportunity for you to remind the folks out there, if they're looking for a gunsmith, how they can...
Chrome Vandium Arms, phone number 352-642-9681. If you want to send me an email, it's support@chromevandiumarms.com. happy to take on any projects that you guys are looking for. I had a guy contact me today and said, "Hey, Babyface P, I got something to do. I need some work on this." And he actually said Babyface P, and I was like, "Sounds good. Here's my address. Bring it. Send it my way. I'll get it done in 2 weeks." So yeah, things are going good. Things are going real well.
Check this out. That's awesome, and I do really recommend you guys, if you're looking for a gunsmith, to send that work to Patrick. Hot Dog 990 gave us $50.
Okay, thank you,
so
sir.
Boom, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Appreciate you for that one. That's fantastic, man. I love it. Like I said, I think this probably is working out the best right now. That's the way it goes. We'll keep doing this. We'll keep bringing the show to you. Yeah. And then probably other content that we're putting up. I think Lola told me she's been putting up van videos on Rumble as well. So it's a lot of work wrangling all the different videos. So
I just haven't had the time for all that. But yeah.
Yeah. So big thanks to Hot Dog 990, everyone else out there that's hanging out with us over the show here. We appreciate you guys. Thanks to Patrick for coming on, and Walter for teasing us with the beignets earlier. We appreciate that. If John is on tonight, he's probably going to fill you guys in more on what's going on here. Yeah, please reach out to these folks, put some pressure on them, and keep fighting the good fight. Yeah. That's anything else to add, Patrick, before I hit all these buttons over here?
That's it for me.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you on the next one. We are out of here.